Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR Today. It's Monday morning, November 22nd, 2021. The man they call Meathead, a little worse for wear, and the lovely Linda Kay, who's gotten in a full day of Packer watching, a full day of Survivor Series, and she's ready to be the hostess with the mostest. Go ahead, Linda.
Boy, thank you, Meathead. It is the post morning of Survivor Series, and I've got a lot to say about that, and I'd be happy to carry today's show. You're sounding okay, I think.
Well, I want to blame it on a 34-31 loss, but I
Uh,
can't. I mean, that was a hell of a game. There was bigger news, obviously, that came out of our area, so we won't
yeah,
spend time on the Packer stuff. Obviously, the stuff that happened in Waukesha. For those that don't know, that listen nationally, Waukesha is a suburb just west of Milwaukee County, the city of Milwaukee. I don't think the city of Milwaukee, and city of Waukesha proper touch. I don't think they're sharing a border anywhere. But literally, all you got to do is go through another, a small little village, and you're right there in Waukesha. So. Uh, Obviously, a real rough situation there. Let's talk about our sponsor real quick and let's get into wrestling.
our sponsor, Collar and Elbow. Make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com. As always, check out the latest and greatest in wrestling street fashions. Get those stocking stuffers ready to go for your loved ones. And to save 10% off your order, use promo code Linda K. That's LINDAKAY to save that little bit of extra cash. Which, by the way, Meathead, Carrie, our friend who is the quote collar and elbow guy, making his appearance at Survivor Series as
Saw it.
well. Yes. Way to go,
Yeah, I
Carrie.
saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Carrie. Again, we got to talk about some T-shirt ideas that just are sitting there. I mean, I've already shot out a few of them over the air here. I've got more.
Let's do it.
Excuse me. All right. Let's talk real quick in the comment section or in the description of the show. Obviously, you'll see that link for collarandelbowbrand.com plus a link to Movember. We're heading down the home stretch here. I know it's Thanksgiving week this week, and I'd love to see you guys help me out at the end of November. I'll be shaving that mustache off, but I'm trying to raise money for men's health awareness, prostate cancer research, and really, just an all-around good cause. But let's talk wrestling. And really, the only thing that dominates the night and dominates the morning is the Survivor Series. Now, this is allegedly the 25-year anniversary of the debut of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, 1996. November 96 at Survivor Series, Rocky Maivia with that perm and that fanny pack. We don't kid with a fanny pack, but
Mm.
with that perm and that fanny pack, The Rock making his debut. So this was a Rock-centric pay-per-view, and they were promoting the new movie with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot on Netflix.
They're also promoting a golden egg all night long.
Yeah, well, I mean, wasn't an egg already sold on Antique Roadhouse by Ryan Reynolds?
Maybe there was a duplicate, or Vince McMahon. He's got the power. He can get that thing back with a
Let
snap of
me
his
show you my
fingers.
eggs.
Yeah.
Yikes. Um,
I
we
want to
made.
know who has that egg, Meathead.
I was going to say we made some moves in the PWR draft right before the show went on the air. One of those moves affected our pre-show match. You made that move assuming, I believe, that match was going to be on the pay-per-view proper. Did not know that it was on the pre-show. Damian Priest, picked up by Linda Kay and the team Longtime, taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. Linda, how did that match go for you?
Well, I mean, I still got points, so that's great. But let me say that that was a move I made also because on SmackDown, Sonya Deville did distinctly say there would be the Battle Royal in the pre-show. Am I wrong in this? Or,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, I
she
know,
probably said it. Yeah.
yeah, I know card is always subject to change, but I did not expect Damian Priest and Shinsuke Nakamura's match taking place in the pre-show as heavily praised this match was. I mean, not just with the commentators themselves in WWE, but by some other media outlets like PWR Today. That was a match I was really looking forward to. I mean, not just because I had Damian Priest and then I picked up Shinsuke Nakamura, but all in all, I mean, I enjoyed the match. But hey, I mean, maybe not as much points as I was hoping, but we got to see more of Damian Priest's newer
Edge.
intense, yes,
No pun intended
intense,
to
no
the
pun
rated
intended,
R superstar.
right, just this new demeanor with Damian Priest. We got to see it take place more, and not to mention me screaming when he broke that flying V guitar. Oh,
Rick Boogs
that
was
broke my
irritating
heart.
him, rubbed him raw.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what? If we're going this route with Damian Priest, it definitely was a good showing. And yes, he got disqualified, but good way to kick off Survivor Series and some points, excuse me, for Team Long Time.
Yeah, points were accumulated as well by backstage appearances, pre-show appearances from the man, Becky Lynch, from Charlotte Flair, from Bobby Lashley, from Mountain Dew Drop in the house, getting the man they call Meat had some points as well, as Vince McMahon shows up holding the golden egg. Look inside my eggs. My eggs are fertile. They're like my grapefruit.
Oh my.
Where are we going with this? We're skipping ahead technically in the show, but where are we going with this? Vince McMahon says if he can't find his $100 million egg, he's going to be on Raw and SmackDown investigating. Does Vince believe he still pops ratings?
Yes.
Does he?
Why else? I mean, I understand the cross promotion with the movie, but he didn't have to insert himself into the whole plot line.
I'd like to shove my eggs right in there.
Right. And like you said, the grapefruits have been replaced by the giant egg. Golden egg.
You know, all I was thinking was goobly gooker. Gawker.
Yeah.
Goker.
Oh, it was
Gobbly gooker.
Survivor Series. That makes sense.
Yep. Opening match for the pay-per-view proper, and I tweeted this out. I know the PWR draft handle tweeted this out as well, but they started off with fire, and it was a woman who's been known to be fire, Becky Lynch, the Raw champion, taking on Charlotte Flair, the women's champion. Becky Lynch gets the shenanigans-styled win. Linda, how did you see this match?
I really thought that Charlotte was going to come on top. I know you and Matthew had discussed this on Friday's show. Charlotte being the bigger heel of the two.
Yeah.
I felt that there would be either some tights pulled or perhaps some assistance from the ropes, which is, what happened. But I thought it was going to be
She
the
got
other way
out-cheated.
around. Yeah, exactly. But
Because Charlotte tried doing it first.
right. But it obviously didn't hurt Charlotte. She just rolled out of the ring and just had that smirk on her face, like, okay. Is this not the end of Charlotte and Becky, or is it just a haha, okay, you outsmarted me this time.
I think we
The
got over on what we were getting, and that's what we got. And all this media hype that we got with the real backstage heat that they tried working the legit media with, I think it's over. I remember we don't have a pay-per-view for about a good 5-6 weeks now till day one of 2022, so we'll have to see.
with the exception of Takeover War Games, excuse me.
Well,
But regarding
War Games Takeover.
WWE proper, yeah.
All right. Next match was the men's 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw was Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins taking on Team SmackDown. Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, King Xavier Woods, Happy Baron Corbin, and Sheamus. Team Raw comes out with the victory. Lots of points to be, spared or shared or distributed throughout this entire match. But your feelings on the match overall, Linda, and how long did this match go?
I'm not quite sure how long it went. But again, I was surprised given how last year's Survivor Series Raw had that clean sweep. So I was surprised to see Team Raw getting this first Survivor Series win. But I did like the flow of it and the back and forth, and that the rivalries kind of
Yeah.
played in, and also Kevin Owens just stepping out like that.
Do you like the teaming up of Sheamus and Hardy at the end?
Oh, I loved seeing Jeff Hardy in that and him getting the chance and the crowd chance, that is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was hoping for Jeff Hardy to have gotten the win, or that he would have been the sole survivor. But
you wanted him to be the Destiny Child of WWE.
Yes, if you want to look at it that way, sure. But who will survive in this men's Survivor Series match? It was Seth Rollins with that curb stomp. He is the man on top. Right. He is the man on top. Monday Night Rollins. I thought it worked out well for him to be the sole survivor, and as the captain of Team Raw.
And the captain of a team they call Meatheads as well. Specialty match, specialty win. He's the sole survivor, the Beyonce of the Raw men's team. All right. Again, this was a long pay-per-view. I mean, we're already about an hour plus in, almost 2 hours, and we get to the 25-man dual-branded Battle Royal to commemorate the 25th anniversary of The Rock's WWE debut. Yeah, it was a weird match, and to be honest, they even had Dio Madden now. What is he going by? What's his name now? But when he greeted Vince McMahon in the back with no paint, what was the deal with it? I understand Pizza Hut sponsoring the match, right? Pizza Hut, Pizza Hut, Pizza Hut. How cold was that food? Do you think that was fresh Pizza Hut? Do you think Pizza Hut was back there cooking it? Dude, those guys had to eat that cold ass pizza.
I mean, it was eaten at the end of the match and tossed into the crowd.
See how far they flew?
Yeah. Well, I kind of would hope that it was cold pizza because then there's less likelihood of cheese and grease
Like a
dripping off.
pasta sauce
Yeah.
right now?
Right. So I know there's that heated debate. Do you want your pizza hot or cold, or is cold pizza acceptable? It is in my eyes, meathead. I like cold pizza, or
Well,
more like
define
room
cold.
temperature.
So, I mean, I don't
Room
want to.
temperature. I can take.
Room temperature pizza is terrible. I don't want
Oh,
to segue off of this too far. I love smoking hot, ready out of the oven pizza, and I like refrigerated pizza.
all
So,
right.
long story short, if you're eating it fresh, it's going to taste fresh. It's good. I don't like it too hot where the sauce burns you. But then if it gets to a point where, it's that room temperature pizza, go ahead and put it in the fridge. When the toppings coagulate to each other, it becomes a different type of pizza, and it's a new kind of awesome. So they're both good.
I'll have pizza anyway.
The winner of the match in specialty points for Matthew Thomas, almost from AJ Styles and almost tag team. That's a nice win for him. A lot of eliminations and a big man win.
Right. And it's nice to see that there wasn't any tension between Omos and AJ Styles, as Omos technically eliminated AJ. I know it wasn't
Right.
really on purpose, but technically AJ was one of
And to prove there's
Omos's.
no tension, he patted his chest, pounded his chest and said, "Get up here and bump chest with me." It was awesome.
Yeah, there was an episode of SmackDown once when AJ jumped up, but did like a nose to nose with Omos. I liked that a little bit more.
Fantastic. The tag team matches are the tag team champions in a match. RK Bro and the Usos. I really thought that this was going to be one for the Usos. However, it's not. And Raw wins again. It's Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro, that RKO out of nowhere as Jimmy or Jay. I didn't pay attention to who it was. I think it was Jimmy. As Jimmy was going for the top Uso splash, Randy Orton got in between him and Riddle and hit the RKO. Fantastic.
Yeah, this was another surprise, as this push with the bloodline and just leading up into the new year. I assumed we would have had a victory by the Usos, who I just recently picked up in the PWR Today draft.
Yeah.
We had that stipulation where you couldn't have more than 2 tag teams. So after the AEW pay-per-view, I did drop the Young Bucks, which freed up my ability to pick up the Usos, who I have been wanting, meathead. I've been wanting to pick up the Usos ever since they picked up the tag team championships. But I was finally able to when I made that
Finally
move.
had that slot. Yeah.
Right. When, I was hoping for a victory by the Usos, but we did get a tremendous match from both RK Bro and the Usos. And might I add that during this match, as we know, Randy Orton set the pay-per-view record as far as the amount of matches
Yep,
he's had in the pay-per-view. And Pat McAfee had a nice shout out to OVW.
What?
Yes, and that just tingled my heart, obviously, and it just was great hearing him mentioning it, and then he even mentioned Ohio Valley Wrestling. He mentioned it. He went on a little bit longer than I thought he would have in a shout out during Survivor Series. So I sent out a tweet about that, and then I learned more about Pat McAfee being an OVW alum, being trained by Rip Rogers, who was the head trainer at OVW at the time, and
Yep.
mind blown. So that was awesome to hear. I'm sure it made a lot of us OVW peeps very happy, and just other fans. It's nice to hear that cross promotional love, which we don't get too much on WWE
You
programming
don't get
unless
that
it's
WWE, but that's fantastic.
Yeah, right. So I digress, but RK Bro with the win and a great match between the two of them.
I digress a little bit more. Side note. How did you feel the commentary with Michael Cole having not only Pat McAfee, but Corey Graves on the same announce team? How did that work for you?
I
It
think
was a bit much.
Yeah, but it added a different element. I guess, given this was Raw versus SmackDown, it was interesting to hear even Byron Saxon out there speaking against some of the faces that you would normally hear him cheering for because they were on
Team SmackDown, right?
Correct, yes. So it brought another element out. It was interesting because I thought I would hear a bit more back and forth bantering between Corey Graves and Pat McAfee, just because McAfee's just so bold at his statements cheering on his SmackDown people and talking against the Raw stars. But I guess it added another element if you really want to do this, make this Raw versus SmackDown mean more.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind it. It's kind of a lot of.
It was a little bit much for me. It reminded me of Rampage commentary. Where you got Jericho yelling, and then you got Ricky Stark sometimes yelling, and then you got other guys yelling. It can be too much.
All right, yeah, I didn't mind it, giving it that more of a one over the other feel that Survivor Series is supposed to be.
Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce are called into the office of Vince McMahon, and Vince notices that his egg's gone. Okay. What we're going to pull from this is Vince will be on Raw tonight. The Raw and SmackDown roster will be at Raw tonight, and he's going to be there to get to the bottom of this. I don't know if he's going to find the egg or the egg that created his illegitimate son. Is it Kennedy? Is it Swoggle? I don't know what's going to happen, but it's happening tonight.
Yeah. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I mean, the egg was a big news topic of the night, as well as the mention of Brock Lesnar's suspension.
We can talk about it. Let's go now. Let's talk right now about it because we were in the office.
Yeah, the suspension of Brock Lesnar being lifted, and that was lifted.
Well, no. The exact phrasing was the suspension is no longer indefinite.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, well,
so he may be suspended today, but I'm willing to bet Vince McMahon came in there and changed things up.
Ooh, he shook things up.
I'm gonna shut things up again. I'm gonna show you my eggs, and where I'm gonna be on TV.
Well, perhaps he took care of that $1 million suspension.
So he's out $101 million, $100 million egg, and $1 million for Brock.
Yes. Maybe Brock will be the one to find the egg. Perhaps
I'm going to send Brock Lesnar to find my eggs.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting to address Brock, his suspension, being lifted during Survivor Series with nothing else happening. It made us believe we might have gotten an appearance from the I said The Rock. I'm sorry. We could.
Well, I mean, that would have been the surprise too. Scenes they're celebrating. I mean, maybe he shows up. But
we could have had Brock. We could have had The Rock. We got the egg, but that's okay.
Could have had Gal Gadot. We could have had Ryan Reynolds. I mean, who's to say? All right. They promoted Xia Li as well. Again, I'm excited about Xia Li. That cartoon stuff that was going on, the comic book stuff from Friday Night SmackDown. Oh my God, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
But then again, so was Aleister Black stuff, and he got cut 2 weeks later.
That's what I was just about to say.
Oh, sorry.
No. Great minds think alike.
Women's traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw was Bianca, Liv, Carmella, Queen Zelina Vega, and WWE Tag Team Champion Rhea Ripley. Where's Nikki Cross? ASH. Taking on Team SmackDown, Sasha Banks, Shotzi, Natalya, Shayna Baszler, and Toni Storm. This match was okay. You know what? There's more build to Shotzi. I thought Shotzi was going to get the win. I was hoping to get the win for a team, that they call meatheads. But Raw wins out again as the sole survivor is Bianca Belair.
Hey, way to go, Bianca Belair. Not just scoring a lot of points for Team Long Time, but I really thought she had a great showing. I mean,
I
she
did
had a
too.
lot of the crowd behind her, and for her to, be victorious, being down 1-4, uh, being that sole survivor. That's what you got to do at Survivor Series. And she did her thing. And, it was interesting how that elimination started with the 4-on-1 where, Sasha gets counted out. She has her own team members going
Yeah,
against her, teaming up. And then one
that was
by
weird.
one, yeah, they got eliminated. I thought maybe Shotzi had that chance at the end, but instead Bianca coming up on top for once again Team Raw. Crazy.
Team Raw getting the love. Finally, a little package for day one's been airing all night. That's the next pay-per-view. Matthew called it a while ago. I'm going to echo his sentiments. I feel that day one has to be a main event of the Bloodline and the New Day. 6-man tag.
Yeah. Yes. That would be tremendous. And I think something every, not or most, if not all, wrestling fans would want to see.
Does day one also mean day one of the Peacock owning WWE?
Uh
I'm throwing that out there. I literally just came up with that about 3 minutes ago.
that's why I was left in silence. I didn't know what to add to that. I was like, whoa,
That
I'm
just
gonna
came up. Day one's got to mean more than just it's the first of the month. Day one's got to be something huge,
first
monumental.
of the year, yes, but it is a new pay-per-view, which WWE really hasn't added a new one since maybe Great Balls of Fire. Uh, sorry, but
That's what I was
day,
talking about with my eggs. I got great balls of fire.
mm-hmm, day one. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting theory there, Meathead. Mm.
Well, I mean, it's not an Austin theory, but it is a theory nonetheless. Finally,
Right.
event. Yeah, I still got jokes. The voice might sound like hell, but I got jokes. The main event, champion Big E, WWE champion that is, against the Universal champion Roman Reigns. They sold it to us like Big E had a chance. Big E didn't have a chance. This was Roman Reigns' match to win.
Right. You can't let Raw have a clean sweep of the entire night, and I think all of us knew we would have the tribal chief getting that win to close out Survivor Series, therefore also giving SmackDown their only
Their
actual
only victory, right?
victory of the night.
I mean, the
But
Omos even won the Battle Royal.
right, and Shinsuke Nakamura won, but by
By DQ.
DQ,
Yeah.
right? So
And I
okay,
mean, Rick Boogs lost his flying V.
uh, yes, but as you just said, this definitely leads up to what could be a huge 6-man tag for day one with the Bloodline and the New Day.
Yeah,
Gotta happen.
Vince mentioning Rock to Roman, and Roman walking out and saying, "Hey, that'll be what my next contract is when it's 100 million." Remember when Rock got his own pay-per-view? It was Rock Bottom in December. Day one might be the Roman Reigns pay-per-view.
Oh, I can see that, but I also like these hints. You know how you and I always talk about how it's there right in front of
Right in
you,
front of us, and we didn't pay attention.
right? So we had The Rock mentioned directly from Vince McMahon to Roman Reigns, and I don't know if you saw this week on Jimmy Fallon, but Roman Reigns was a guest this week to promote Survivor Series, and Jimmy Fallon even mentioned, "Would you fight The Rock?"
Yeah, they're planting seeds. So maybe day one is the build to Rock Roman at WrestleMania in Dallas.
that would be
I put a little
tremendous.
tinkle in your egg, didn't I?
Oh hey.
Ah. All right. Well, folks, that is Survivor Series 2021. No more pay-per-view from WWE until the 2022 year, but there'll be 2 in January. PWR draft totals. We have the accounting firm has just reached out to us while we were on the air. The numbers are not official. There might be some tweaks here. What it does look like, though, the one thing that they can call is Matthew Thomas won tonight with well over 450 points. The man they call Meathead is somewhere in the 300 range, and Linda, you were in the 230s, I believe. So the top of the order still hasn't changed. Meathead in first, Linda in second, Matthew in third, but there's some gray discrepancies in there, so they don't want to release the totals to me yet.
Okay. We always have to uh, comb through everything with a fine tooth comb.
Fine tooth comb, saber tooth comb.
Yeah.
So for Linda Kay, the man to call me in, Linda, you will be back tomorrow morning with us. Again, programming notes will be on the air tomorrow morning and Wednesday morning. No shows Thursday, Friday, because it's a holiday weekend, my friends. So we will talk to you tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.